Hello VC, Rock Chica back again, and today I'm doing a video on Beethoven. So I was inspired by Mazzy's video, how he spoke about how he got into Beethoven and where it started for him. Well, for me, I guess it started with the Walter Murphy 5th of Beethoven disco song that came out in the mid-70s, early 70s. And that's kind of where it started. Or if you go back from there, maybe Bugs Bunny cartoons, when I got and started listening to classical music. Anyhow, so I decided, well, I have classical music, I have Beethoven in my collection, but I've never really listened to it. So my objective this week is going to be to listen to the Beethoven that I have on vinyl. I'm sure I have some on CD, but I didn't dig those out yet, so let me show you what we have. Right now we're listening to some Chamber Music Society, and this is Quintet in C Major Opus 29 by the Pascal String Quartet, and it's Walter Gerhard, the violinist. So that's what we have here. And I have two copies of this, so I'm playing one. This is the other. This is pretty old. I'm not sure how old it is, but it has kind of like a linen cover. And this is what the record that's playing right now looks like. This one needs a little cleaning. So on red vinyl. It came in this nice vellum onion paper sleeve. So just a little cleaning, and it sounds great. Been listening to it so far. Next up, we have Songs of Thanks, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, and this is a gold stamp promo on a white label. And on this, The Heavens Resound by Beethoven is the first track on the first side with the choir. So listen to that already. Pretty magnificent. Then of course you have Hooked on Classics, and on here you have, let's see, Beethoven. You have a little bit of everybody. Mozart, Tchaikovsky, let's see, Beethoven, they have Symphony number 9, and I believe there's some more on here. So anyhow, Hooked on Classics. Then I have a Phase 4 copy of Symphony number 9, Leopold Stokowski. Looking forward to playing this. This should sound great, so I'll report back on this one. Then of course you have Symphony number 5. I listened to this already. This is great. This starts off with the classic dun 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 dun, you know, right away, really strong. This is a German pressing on Dutch gramophone. Very nice. Sounds great. Then we have Concert for Piano and Orchestra, Symphony number 5, or Concerto for Piano and Orchestra number 5, sorry, by William Kempf on piano. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is another German pressing on Dutch gramophone. And this is on the, has the tulips on the label. Another William Kempf, and this is, I have to read it here in the back. I guess Piano Concerto number 8 and Opus number 27. I wish they would just give these regular names anyhow. So I'll be listening to this as well. And I think this is also a German pressing, and this is not on the Tulip label. Still very clean. And I've picked most of these up at estate sales. Better than buying them at the thrift store. Usually at the thrift store they get pulled out and thrown around and scratched up, so by the time you end up with them, they're pretty beat. This is another piano sonata for piano and violin, number 5, opus 24, and this is again William Kempf. This one unfortunately is a little torn, but this is also on the Tulip label. Dutch gramophone there. Then we have Pablo Casals, Beethoven's 8th Symphony on one side and then Mendelssohn on the other. And this is a promo copy. If it's on the white, I haven't even looked at it yet. Mono on the gray Columbia. Then we have this box set, Arturo Toscanini, 9 Beethoven symphonies, MBC Symphony Orchestra. And this comes with this great book, along with the albums on the RCA label. Now, the book has some great stories. There's a little moth in here. And it tells you some really great anecdotes about the different symphonies and when he first performed them or when they were first performed, who was in attendance, etc. So one about the 9th Symphony was first performed in Vienna, and he was placed in the middle of the orchestra facing away from the audience. So he was sitting in the orchestra, looking towards the orchestra, and of course the conductor and everyone else was playing. And he received 5 standing ovations, not him, Beethoven, when that first came out. They received 5 standing ovations, and at that time the limit of standing ovations was 3 per the king. You could only have 3. Well, the king wasn't in attendance, so the audience just kept applauding, giving applause. And Beethoven, because he was deaf, he didn't hear, he didn't know what was going on. He was still engrossed in the symphony and the performance and the music. And finally someone tapped him. It's like, turn around, and people were there applauding him. So he was pretty touched, and so that's one of the stories that's in that book. So if anything, if you find it, make sure you get the booklet with it. And then I have the box sets. So hold on. So Beethoven Bicentennial Collection. I have 4. I'm not sure how many come in the set, but I have volumes 1 through 4. And this is Symphonies and Overtures, Part 1. And these are also on Dutch gramophone. And let's see, there's a little booklet that tells you a little bit about what's on the albums. So I am assigning myself this homework so I can brush up on my Beethoven. And I mean, I have the records, I need to listen to them, and it's a shame for them to be here in my collection and not listened to and appreciated, and you know, that really need to put them to use. So thank you, Mazzy, for talking about your Beethoven story, and that has inspired me to check out my Beethoven stuff. So if you have them, spin them. See you at BC.